Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And we have Joe in the production room turning down the... There you go. He's messing with the music. DJ. Hey, you know what's funny? We're just talking about you, Joe. We're like, we still can't believe you do rave music. Well, that's what what do you call it? Techno? Industrial?
Industrial.
Okay. I guess that fits the part. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Yesterday, I've been hanging out with Kyle.
Yeah.
Not just on the show. It's his birthday tomorrow. So
26.
Yes, he's going to be 26 years young. That's very exciting. So, yeah, what did we do yesterday?
Yesterday we had this whole weekend's been a blur. I've been coming off a drink.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't drink, so when he does,
I get a good time. Turned.
Yeah.
I was okay. Well, first it started off on Friday. So Friday night, I got to spend some time with a good friend of mine, Cassidy. Shout out to you. She had her little party for graduating, so I was part of that bar crawl through Redlands.
Okay.
So we were drinking, doing
Friday
that.
night.
And then yesterday we went to round one and played some pool and sang some karaoke.
Yeah. What was your favorite song when we did karaoke?
Of last night, It was probably the one you and I did. All My Exes Live in Texas.
All My Exes Live in Texas. Yeah.
Some good old George Strait.
Yes, sir. That was pretty good. Actually, we were playing pool.
Yeah.
I've been to round one once, and I didn't really get the full experience. Yesterday, I got a pretty good experience.
Yeah.
Played some pool, did some karaoke, and then I left, but shortly after, you guys were playing a bunch of games, right?
Yeah, we're playing games.
Yeah. I know what game you're talking about with the rotating like circles. You gotta drop a ball from the top.
Yeah.
It's like fireball, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like a jackpot that you can get.
Uh-huh.
Why is that your favorite? Because I'll tell you, I have a good memory of that game. But why is that yours? Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the movements and everything, especially when you're drunk, just watching it.
Just doom. Yeah.
It's just like what.
When I was a little kid, we went to some place and it had that same machine, that same arcade game. And I was with my uncle, Ollie, which I haven't seen in years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I kept losing. And we're about to leave, like, the place. Like, I think it was for my birthday. I think I was, like, maybe 9 or something. But
yeah.
He was like, I think it was, like, $1, maybe, like, a quarter. And he goes, oh, I got $1 left, or I got 1 quarter left, or, like, 1 token, whatever it is. You know, I got 1 currency left. And I was like, can I use it? He's all right. Got the jackpot.
Yeah?
Yeah, the last shot got the jackpot,
man.
and he's like, "That's mine, that's mine." I was like, "No, it's mine," because dude, it was so hype, so fun, and like, I don't think I would ever hit the jackpot ever again. I mean, it's a tough game.
It is.
You know, so I hope everyone just knows what we're talking about, because if not, we're just rambling on about this arcade game.
Last time I was at like playing arcade games, I was at Dave & Buster's. I won 3 jackpots.
No kidding.
There's I don't know if you know this game, but it's like this big wheel, and there's lights around it, and then the lights go.
You gotta stop it.
You gotta stop it.
Yes.
I did it twice.
No kidding.
Yeah, Dave & Buster's. I did it twice. I did it. I missed this. I missed the next time, and I got it the time after that again.
Really?
Yeah.
How many light bulbs do you have to like how do you do it? Like, what's your strategy? With me, I try to like hit the button like 4 light bulbs before that light, because my response time is not that fast, you know?
Yeah.
So I try to hit it before I think it's, you know?
I can hit it pretty quick, but I feel like each one of those games, like wherever you go, are different. Like they move
Different pace.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So like the one at Dave and Buster's. So you have the jackpot light, and then 2 lights before, right when it gets dim, 2 lights before, I'll hit it,
Oh man,
and that's how I got it.
really? Twice?
Yeah, twice.
And how much? How much did you get for the jackpot?
They were 1,000 each.
No kidding.
Yeah, 1,000. So I got 2,000 tickets from that game.
What did you get?
Oh, what did I get? It was I got this nice mug, or it was like
You spent 2,000 tickets on a mug?
well, yeah, it's for beer. And then it was
Okay.
and what's it called? Well, it wasn't a mug. It's like what are those ceramic mugs that have like paintings on it? What are
Yeah,
they
like a
called?
German.
Yeah, there's like a specific name for them,
Mhm.
but it was one of those. It was nice.
Kind of fancy.
Yeah,
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah,
You know, when I went to, I want to say Shakey's,
yeah.
they had one of the machines pulled out, like where the tickets and all that stuff was, and there was no service person or anything, and it was just a fat stack of tickets.
You took it?
Of course I took it. Of course
Yeah,
I took
I
it.
would've taken
Those are
it
free
too.
tickets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, that wasn't like recently. I was a little troublemaker back in the day, but when I had my chance, I took it, and it only came out to be like, I don't know, maybe 500 tickets, because it was like one of those smaller arcade games, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I was excited when I saw it. I was like, what? You know, and
Yeah.
maybe cameras. I don't know. They're probably like watching us, like who's gonna take the tickets, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't get in trouble. I cashed it in, and you know.
Cash. How many tickets was it? You know?
No, it was less than 500. It wasn't that much.
Oh, that's still a lot though.
Yeah, this is a free jackpot in my eyes. So, yeah.
Games don't hit the same anymore because they don't have tickets anymore. It's all like on the card or
Digital, bro.
it's weird.
Yeah.
Like just like watching the tickets come out of the machine like felt different.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And you guys were talking about that, about the casino too. Like it used to be just like coins, like
Yeah.
coming out.
Used
Now
to be
it's
change.
just like music that plays, and then
Yeah. Now it's music, and then you have like a voucher that you insert into the
Yeah.
machine.
it's not as exciting as it used to be.
No,
And
and then,
you want something tangible, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Something to hold on to. You're like, this is mine.
yeah,
You know,
it doesn't hit the same.
it doesn't hit the same, man. So, but yeah, round one was pretty fun. I had a good time. I'll probably go there again. But it's like you got to pay for everything.
Yeah, you gotta pay for everything.
Yeah, I paid like $20 for pool. It's not bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I kept winning in pool, so I was like, I was fine, you know.
it was 51 for the karaoke.
For karaoke, really. You know, I'd never been to a private karaoke room before.
Really?
Yeah, and at first I was like, okay, this is kind of cool, you know, whatever. But I really liked it because then you don't have to wait. Like, like who's next? Like, da 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 da. Like random people. Like when we go to like Top Dog or something.
Yeah, you gotta.
And like
there's
your
a
name
list.
is like fifth in line or something. It's like
Yeah.
you don't even know these people, you know. But I guess it's all part
Yeah.
of the
part of the
fun.
experience too.
Yeah.
I gotta take you to Punch Bowl Social. There's a good karaoke room there.
Yeah. I'm starting to expand on my music a little bit when it comes to karaoke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I always stick to like the same songs.
Right. And like with me, it's the same thing. Like country music, just because I can hit that low, I can't hit that high.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you don't want to be the guy bringing in the wrong vibe. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if everyone's playing like a certain type of genre of music and you just come around with like some slow country,
Yeah.
people are like, bro, like
People are just like, what are you doing?
what's going on? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
all right, dude. So tomorrow is your 26th birthday.
26. Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I feel good.
Really?
Mhm.
You ready to tackle the world, huh?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot in store for me.
Did you ever vision yourself, you know, turning this age and like having these plans or being someplace or having like a certain job or like a family, or did you have any type of like built life for yourself before you turned this age?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Which
Um,
honestly is probably a good thing.
it's good. It's a good thing.
Because like if you did,
Yeah.
you know, and it didn't work out, then you probably like crushed or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And
So-
then, yeah, like plans fail.
Yeah, for sure.
So like the way I live life is, I have a certain goal that I work towards,
Mhm.
and if I complete it, I just move immediately onto something else.
You don't celebrate?
I celebrate.
You said, "Oh, I celebrate, bro."
I celebrate
Okay,
like small
cool.
victories.
Small victories.
Yeah,
Okay.
but like if it's like a big goal or something, then yeah, I like to get other people involved, especially if
course.
I know I'm gonna complete it in like the next couple days.
Mm.
And be like, I haven't finished this goal yet, but in 2 days I will,
Mm.
and I want everyone to be there so
Okay.
we could all celebrate together.
All celebrate together. That's right.
Yeah.
You know, someone was talking to me about like life, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, you know, you make all this money, and da da da." da." But at the end of the day, it's like, imagine if you made all this money, and you had no one around you.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no point.
what is the point of that, bro? Like, you want?
You can't buy happiness.
No, you can't.
You can't.
I mean,
But you can buy things that can make you happy, but
yeah, you can buy things that can make you happy.
but it's temporary.
It is temporary.
Yeah.
You know, it was actually gonna be one of my tattoos I was gonna get.
Yeah.
It was just gonna say, well, the tattoo was pain is only temporary. You know what I mean? So I can just like keep going. But what I thought was cool was I met a guy. He had a tattoo on his wrist on the inside, and it just said temporary. So like when he's like doing his planks at the gym or something, or if he's just looking down, it just says temporary. You know, so whatever emotion that he's going through, whatever troubles he's going through, it's just a reminder like, hey, it's just temporary.
That's a good thing.
You know, so and yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. It is 15 minutes past the hour. It is 7:15. We do have a segment today, guys, but I just wanted to catch up with Kyle and tell some stories. Today's segment, which is controversial in a sense. I don't know if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, y'all can call in.
Yeah, call in.
Kyle, what's the number?
888-909-1050. That is 888-909-1050.
There you go. So the segment of today is the law of the universe.
The laws of the universe.
Yes, laws, plural. Thank you, sir, for correcting me. Because there is more than just one. And some of you guys, like,
Yeah.
a popular one is like law of attraction,
Yeah, law of attraction.
right? And then there's some other ones that we're just going to go down the list.
Okay.
I'm going to try to explain them to my best ability. And then what I want us to do is just think of an experience that we had, or maybe just an example that we can give to kind of like back up the law of the universe, right?
Okay.
Whether you believe in these laws of the universe or you don't.
Sure I do,
You know,
yeah.
you got to help a brother out. You know, you're my co-host.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So let's start off with these one.
Yeah.
Law of attraction,
Law of attraction.
right? So you attract what you're feeling. All right. So like an
Yeah.
example for me is if you wake up one day and you're like, man, I'm a lucky guy. You know, today's going to be a great day. I feel lucky, da, 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 da. And then throughout the day, you know, like $1 falls into your pocket. Or like someone buys
Yeah.
you a free
Uh-huh.
coffee Starbucks drink, you know, like that is the
Yeah.
law of attraction because you're attracting what you're feeling. And what you're
Yep.
feeling is, we'll go deeper into it, but like the vibrations that you're giving, the frequencies that you're giving out to the
Right,
universe,
yeah.
right? So
Uh-huh.
like law of attraction, have you ever experienced, or can you give an example of law of attraction?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you're only a sum of who you're around.
Hmm.
They say that.
Okay.
You know, like, if you're around a whole bunch of people who are negative, you're gonna be negative.
Probably going to be a negative person.
Yeah, you know, if you're around a whole bunch of people who are natural entrepreneurs that are working their way up in life and that are driven, you know, you're gonna wake up that way.
Yeah,
You know?
and eventually you will become one.
Yeah.
Which is good because that kind of goes to my next law of the universe. It's
Okay.
the law of compensation.
The law of compensation.
Right, which
Explain
is
that one.
your results are dependent on your actions,
Yeah.
right? So
Uh-huh.
like what you were just saying, you know, if you hang out with bums, you're probably a bum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you hang out with millionaires,
Yep.
one day you'll probably become a millionaire.
Yeah.
You know, but it's weird how like to me like these laws are not just like set in stone, this is it, da 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 da. Like there has to be action in yourself in order to like have these laws be
Yeah.
created. You know, like a lot of people say like, oh, I pray for like X, Y, and Z and nothing happens.
Right. Yeah.
It's because
yeah.
you just sit there and you pray. Like you got to do your part. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So when it comes to like a law of attraction, like if you're in a dark alley, okay, and you're scared, there might be something happening that might actually come out and scare you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you put yourself in these situations. I've been in a situation one time where, like, you're nervous. Like, I'm about to do, like, a stunt or something like
Yeah.
that, like a backflip on the trampoline. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm scared. Like, I feel like I'm going to get hurt. Well, that's the law of attraction right there. And let me tell you, I got hurt. I did a backflip, and I went for one more, and my shin just right on the top of the pole. And it hurt so bad.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, one of my worst feelings of pain is throbbing. Like, I hate throbbing, bro.
Yeah, because then like you think about it and then it gets worse.
Yes, so it's so horrible. So anyways, yeah, law of compensation, your results are dependent on your actions, which, you know, I think is great because you know, someone can just be lazy and they can just get things in life.
Yeah.
That's not fair, but life ain't fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it comes to, like, if you want to be a top producer or like a top artist, you know, you're putting in so much work, and because of that work, you will be compensated.
Yeah.
You may not be the top producer or but you know, you aim for the stars and you land on the moon, you know, type things.
Yeah.
Rather than
Exactly.
just not trying at all.
Right.
You know, so I like that one. There also is the law of polarity, which is everything has its opposites, you know, so black and white, sad and happy.
War and peace.
War and peace.
Yeah.
And there's, like, that also goes along with, like, balance, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you have more responsibilities in life, like, you give yourself more responsibilities,
Yeah.
the polarity of that, the opposite of that is now you have more problems
Yep.
because how
Yep.
much more responsible
Exactly.
you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are people that are right there, like there's no extreme in their life, so nothing crazy is actually happening.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of stagnant in life and they're kind of floating. You know, and
That's the worst place to be.
you think so? I was
That's
gonna
the
be.
worst
I didn't
place
know.
to be.
I don't know which one to choose. If you know.
Yeah.
And why would you think that's the worst place to be?
Well, if you get too comfortable, you don't want to move.
Right.
You know, then you're just gonna stay where you're at. You
Mhm.
know, life is just gonna float on. All your friends are gonna, you know, evolve.
That's kind of like that's like an easy life, right? Like, who doesn't want an easy life?
Yeah, but I mean, an easy life is a boring life.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, I want to go out there, explore places that, you know, to places no one ever goes. I want to go out there and really experience the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like you can sit at home all you want on Google, look up Mexican culture, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know, English culture, and then
Right.
just watch videos all day. Cool. That not me. I can't
Yeah.
do that. I'd rather be in the
There, you'd rather be there. I actually one
Yeah.
of my I know somebody, and not that we used to argue, but we used to bicker all the time because I would be like, I would love to travel, you know, and she was like I'll be like, hey, like, wouldn't that be cool if we went to like Antarctica or something, you know?
Yeah, why
and
not?
she was like, why? You can just see pictures of it online.
No way.
And I was like,
can't
oh,
hang
this
out.
sucks. So she went to a trip to Hawaii.
Okay.
Bro. I mean, this is her own reality. Like, she was just like, yeah, I could have just saw all this stuff online.
That's what she thought?
That's what she said.
Oh,
I was, you know, like, I will not take you anywhere now because
I can't.
it's not even about, like, the sightseeing. I mean, it is. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, the sun touching your skin, the water, the ripples, all your senses are there, you know, rather than just looking at a picture. You know, like, wouldn't you want to be there in real life to experience it?
There's a really long quote, and I'm not gonna say it because I don't know it. It's really long from Anthony Bourdain.
He got the quoter's name. Okay.
Yeah, and you know, he says that if you're gonna travel, go out, go to the hole in the wall place, start talking to people you never met. Order something that's unorthodox off the menu. Just start conversations, experience the culture, live life. That's the sum of the
Similar quote.
Yeah, it's a lot longer than that, but
Basically, live life.
live life. You
And
know,
life has its adversities, but life also has its blessings.
exactly.
You know, like I never traveled outside of the United States, but if I did, I would for sure try to make friends that live out there.
Definitely.
So if I ever go out there again, I'll maybe have a place to stay, or like they
Yeah.
can, I would actually have people out there that I can like talk to and, show me the traditions and the cultures and stuff.
Exactly. And like it's all about reciprocation.
Hmm.
Like when I was in Namibia, I met some friends out there. They're planning on coming out in a couple years. I said, "Let me know. I'll make sure I'm home. You can stay with me. I'll take you out. I'll take you on a tour just like you did
Yeah.
with me."
Yeah.
And like you're surrounded by good people, so like you're safe.
Hmm.
And I know that if I'm with them over there, I know I'm safe.
Right.
So it's just like everyone just wants to understand each other and hear each other's stories.
Hmm.
And like your friend, I don't want to say anything else besides this, but I hope I never meet them.
Really?
I can't be around people like that.
Mm.
I
mean, again, like
Yeah.
that's probably like one of her flaws, but she has very little flaws.
Yeah.
Other than that, she's an amazing person. But that's just something that struck me because like, I'm
That's a deal breaker for me.
bro, I'm always talking about my future and like what I want and
Yeah.
where do I want to go. And she's more of like a homebody, which is good in terms of like being with someone because you don't want someone who's out there all the time. Like you just knowing someone who's just going to be at home and be with you. It is what it is.
Pictures are cool.
But it's not the real thing.
No, like you have to go out there and like. Okay, let me give you an example.
All right, go for it.
Okay, there's pictures that we saw on the Namibia trip before we went. Beautiful pictures. Like one of the places from the pictures, I do not recommend going.
Yeah.
Because the feeling that you get from looking at the picture was opposite than the feeling that you get when you were there.
Interesting.
So if we would have spent money and made it better, it would have turned out to just be all right. Like, you know what I mean? So like, everyone wants to go to Santorini, everyone wants to go to Greece, but it's humid. So like, people see pictures of being there. Oh, like look at this lifestyle. Let me go live this. And now it's like, I can't breathe.
Okay, so
you know what I mean?
All right, I'm gonna have to tell you just a funny story. I know we're gonna be jumping around conversations, guys, but we are gonna be talking about the law of the universe and everything else. But
Yeah.
this is a funny story. All right, so I went on a picnic recently with a friend, and yeah, yes, Joe, it was a girl. But anyways, so I'm just gonna tell you this part. All right, everything was great. But the only thing that she did not prepare for or take into consideration was like bugs, like insects. And she was freaking out. She's like, "This is nothing like the movies." And I was like, "What'd you like?" Everything else was fun. The view, the picnic, like we did our part, But then like nature took its course, and she was just like freaking out and like, oh, dude, it was so funny. But it's like that's the thing, Like what you're talking about. It's like what you see in pictures and in movies and like everything over the internet. It portrays a different perspective,
Yeah.
And some of it is like what they want you to portray it as, something great that you should go to or something scary that you should stay away from.
Yeah.
And and at the end of the day, like it does have its perks and stuff, but I couldn't stop laughing, bro, when I went to that picnic.
There's a curator friend that I met. He's actually one of the curators over at the Getty. And he told me once, he said, if you were to look at a picture and a painting of the same thing anywhere in the world, I'm going to go to that place if I look at the painting, not the picture. And the reason is you can capture whatever you want in a picture, just the good stuff. But in a painting, you have other people trying to tell you a story about their experience on how they were there. Because when they're painting, they're taking
it's their emotions.
It's their emotions and how they feel. into that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, my sister, when she went to Newbury, Massachusetts or something,
Yeah.
she came back with a canvas painting of the street where she was on, that she had like lunch and stuff at.
Uh-huh.
And I
Those
have
are the
it.
best memories.
And I have it. I'm like, one day I'll go there with you, Rhiannon. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it was like, hey, this is where I was. This is where I want you to go. You
Yeah.
know?
And like a picture is cool, but then it's just like, it's a cool place. And then you set it aside.
Right. But a painting.
But a painting, every time you look at a painting, usually you see something new.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
has emotions towards it.
It does.
You know? Like I am no painter. Don't get me don't get me
No,
wrong.
I suck at painting.
However, I
can't
have
do it.
I have a couple paintings.
Do you?
Yeah. My first painting I have, it's kind of a mix. It was like me, you know, my ex, my sister, and we all painted on one canvas. And it is one of my favorite paintings ever. Maybe because it's kind of personal,
Yeah.
you know? But I mean, there's just more to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's wild. I gotta show you the picture. It's a pretty good painting. But then I have other ones as well. We went to like a painting, like sip wine and
Oh, I
paint.
did one of those.
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
one
yeah.
of
So
those.
I did a couple of those, and it was actually pretty good because, you know, we all have a little bit of artists in ourselves. You know,
Yeah.
like you tell me to draw a snake, it's gonna look like a snail. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I mean, that'd be more impressive. If you think about it.
draw a snail. That's too funny.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go over one more universal law before we
Okay.
go on break here.
All right.
You were talking about like Mexico and its cultures and all that stuff. So there is a law called the law of gender, and it
Okay.
states that everything has a feminine and masculine traits.
Yeah.
Working with both can create creativity,
Yes.
right? And that is something like I never really heard until just now. I mean, I know in like in Spanish, like the language and everything, like everything has like masculine or feminine,
Yeah.
you know, traits and stuff. But like for that to be like a universal law, I'm like, oh, you know, Mexico they know a little more than what I know in terms of like that, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Russian is like another language like that.
is it?
There's like a man like way of speaking, then there's like a woman way of speaking.
Mm.
And then if you talk to like children or people you don't know, you speak a certain way.
Oh, really?
So like there's like adjectives. So like there'll be like one word and you can say it 3 different ways. But if I'm like speaking to you, I'll say it one way.
Right.
If I'm speaking to like a child, I'll say it another way.
Interesting.
And then if you're speaking to like someone else from another gender, you say that.
Huh. What do you know? You know, I have so Arabic, all right? So
Yeah.
when I'm talking to you, I'm gonna walk in or you walk into a store or anyone who's watching. If you talk to a guy, you say Habibi,
Yeah.
right? Which is like for a guy, it's kind of like my brother, like my love, you know, my ninja, you know, things like that. And then if you're talking to a female, you say Habiti, which is the same thing, my love, my friend, my dear, you know, things
Yeah.
like that. So I know a little bit of language. I know how
Yeah,
to
me
say
too.
cheers in Russian.
Do you?
And I think I taught you. It's Zdrovia.
Yeah, Zorovia, yeah.
Zdrovia.
Zorovia.
So you guys just got some language classes just now. And there's a couple more I know, you know,
Yeah.
different languages, but
You know, like Arabic, assalamu alaikum.
don't know what that means.
Yeah. Greetings to you.
Oh, greetings to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, you know, I forgot what it was, but I actually knew a little bit of Afrikaans when I was in Namibia.
Oh, really?
Like, they speak mostly English now, and Afrikaans is like mostly like older people just speak it now. It's like dying off. It's like Latin.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. But it's like a derivative of Dutch.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Afrikaan.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to say I love you in the Philippines, you say mahana kita.
Mahana kita.
Yeah, exactly. You're pretty good, man. You started taking some language classes. So. All right, you guys, it is 30 minutes past the hour. We're going to go on a quick break. I hope you guys enjoyed what we've been talking about. If you guys have any stories or anything else you guys want to bring up, call back in the next 5 minutes. We'll be right back. All right,
We'll be
guys?
right back.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can...
From the Bureau of Economic Geology, this is Earth Date. When did our ancestors leave the trees and begin to lead a life on solid ground? Some real-life CSI has given us a big clue. Lucy, the 3-million-year-old skeleton of one of our oldest known human relatives, was recently on a museum tour of the United States. During her visit, University of Texas scientists examined her skeleton with geological CT scanners, similar to medical CAT scans, but with higher resolution. Fossil bones often break as they're buried, but Lucy's upper arm showed something unusual. It was compressed, with sharp fracture lines and tiny bone fragments intact. The team called in an orthopedic surgeon who confirmed that this injury in modern humans only occurs when they extend their arms to try to break a fall from considerable height. So they began to look for other fracture evidence of a fall and found it in her ankle, knee, pelvis, and ribs. They then looked to modern chimpanzees, which are about the same size as Lucy. Chimps nest in trees at heights of up to 35 feet, high enough that a fall could result in the same type and degree of fracturing found in Lucy. Further studies using the CT data showed that her ratio of arm strength to leg strength was more like chimps than humans. Both findings suggest that 3 million years ago, our ancestors may have lived a significant part of their lives in trees. I'm Scott Tinker, and this has been your Date with Earth.
Earth Date is produced by the Bureau of Economic Geology at the University of Texas at Austin. Earth Date is researched by Julie Hennings, written by Harry Lynch, and distributed by Mark Blunt and Casey Walker. For more stories, follow us on Facebook or visit earthdate.org.
KCAA invites you to join Dr. Sean Pruitt, the pharmacist on call, each Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. on KCAA. Dr. Pruitt is known as the pharmacist for the uninsured. Dr. Pruitt listens to your medical questions and he takes your concerns seriously. So tune in to Dr. Sean Pruitt each Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. right here on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM and 106.5 FM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
In these trying times, many people are depressed and lost because the future of our society is up in the air. If you're turning to substance abuse because you're feeling there is no hope, we have a way for you to see the light. SAD, or Stop Abusing Drugs, is a nonprofit organization that will help you at no cost to you stop abusing drugs. Founded by Tony Navarchi, SAD will refer you to the top detox doctors in your area. SAD will pay every and any cost for you, including doctor visits, counseling, and medications. If you need help, SAD is there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you or a loved one needs help, or if you have a suggestion or idea for Tony, you can reach out to him by calling 844-493-3386. That's 844-493-3386. Or email Tony at tony@saddetox.com. That's Tony at saddetox.com.
Bob Vila here with my home improvement tip of the day. Chair rail molding adds a tasteful touch to rooms, especially when it's combined with crown molding. Chair rail type moldings were used at least as far back as the Greeks and the Romans, but they didn't come into popular usage until 18th century England. They were all about protecting walls from chairs, which were always kept at rest up against the walls in proper English dining rooms. If you're thinking of installing chair rails in your home, here are a few points to keep in mind. To be the most visually appealing, chair rails need to be installed at the right height. Most experts say the right height is about a third of the distance from the floor to the ceiling. If your tastes tell you otherwise, maybe go a little lower rather than higher. Installing above 32 inches is likely to be unflattering to the proportions of the room. The best width for a chair rail molding will vary a bit depending on the dimensions and the wall colors of the room, but 2 to 3 inches is most common. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home with me, Bob Vila.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood.
welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are enjoying your drive around town. If you guys are, on the freeway, highway, the streets, whatever it is, I hope you guys are driving safe. It's a beautiful day. You guys are listening to whatever works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I am your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And Kyle is going to give us the shout out of our sponsor.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. Also, give us your thoughts tonight, please, at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050.
Yeah, so before we went on break, we're talking about the laws of the universe.
Yeah.
Some of them was the law of compensation, right? Your results are dependent on your actions. For the most part.
Yeah.
Law of vibration. Everything is energy, and energy vibrates and it sends out frequencies.
Yeah.
And we can get a little more into that one because that one's kind of cool. Law of polarity. So everything has an opposite of whatever's the same subject has the opposite of whatever it is, right?
Right.
If you're talking about, temperature, there's hot, there's cold. If you're talking about emotions, there's anger and like happiness, whatever, so on and so forth. There's also law of gender, which everything has a feminine and masculine trait. And acknowledging that to yourself and being able to, use both those traits can really build up your creativity.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of times people are just straightforward, but if you really start to expand yourself in every degree, in every way, creativity does come out of the bush. Also, law of attraction, you attract what you are feeling.
Yeah.
So if you feel like something's a bad idea, yeah, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's that gut feeling.
Yeah, or if you feel like you're scared, then yeah, something's bad. There's also law of
Relativity.
Relativity. Thank you. So basically, we're not even talking about Einstein's theory. We're talking about the law of the universe. So basically, it states that you can't judge anything outside of its relationship with everything else.
Yeah.
Right? So if you are just judging whether it's like a couple or like a scenario, situation, whatever it is, without actually understanding the scenario, situation, then you're in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Because everything has its own reasons and beings. So that's another one. We also have the law of rhythm.
The law of rhythm.
Right? And we're not talking about music. Joe's out here just hitting the table.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, we can. We definitely can. So everything has a rhythm in life, and life has its ups and downs, right? As we all know, we all experience that. But the biggest thing is if you understand your rhythm of life, you can kind of flow with it.
Yeah.
Right? So with me, I have a pretty good sense in terms of like how much time I can grind for.
Yeah.
Like before my body starts to like drift off or get lazy, like your attention span, like some people know their attention span. And like if you understand what's going to happen or when it's going to happen to yourself, you can kind of help direct yourself in a sense. Like with me, my rhythm is I can probably go like, 3 weeks of just grinding hard. And then for like a whole week, I'll just fall off for no reason.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just like my energy or just my span on it. And that's happened to me this last week. I'm not going to lie. If I'm going to be completely honest, like my mom, she called me yesterday and she's like, why do you sound like this? And I sounded so like down, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's because I was grinding so much that I kind of like burnt myself out a little bit. And then my body kind of had to like reset, which is not a bad thing.
It's not.
Having days off is good to have like recoveries and all like, things like that. Like stupid example is like Formula 1 races, NASCAR races. Like they have to make a pit stop. You know what I mean? They got to refuel.
Yeah.
They got to rest real quick and then they can take off, And when it comes to life, it's the same scenario.
Yeah.
So I think understanding yourself is probably the biggest thing in life than trying to understand everything else in the world. Right? Because a lot of times when people go through stuff in life, they always blame something else.
Yeah, it's never their fault.
Oh, yeah, that's what they say. It's like, it's because this happened, this was random, whoop-de-whoop, la-di-da. But then if you're talking about like law of attraction, you're like, oh, do you know life sucks? Like life hates me, you know? Like
Yeah.
I'm always mad at the world. Well, then yeah, life is gonna hate you.
Yeah.
Because you don't, you know what I mean? So you don't play the part, you know? And to have like that self-control and self-discipline of like controlling your emotions as well,
Right.
you know? I was talking to somebody the other day, and my buddy, he went out with this chick, and they really liked each other. They really bonded.
Uh-huh.
I did not really like that girl particularly, you know, but I did not show it, and I didn't want to like express myself because I don't want to ruin not just their relationship, but like me and my homie's relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was talking to somebody about it, and they're like, "Oh, I would have laughed at her, or I would have gave her like a dirty look." I'm like, "Okay, that's first of all immature."
Yeah.
You know, like people don't know how to handle people. And I'm not saying I do, but for the most part, like I know how to keep relationships.
Yeah.
And when you laugh or when you make fun of somebody, that's because you have a problem. That's
Yeah.
your ego.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like people have like are
Yeah.
super uptight, and I think that's such a huge problem in today's society where they say, you know, express yourself. All right. You guys might have some controversy on this, but I don't think men should really express themselves the way you think we should express ourselves, because that's when violence happens.
Yeah.
That's when masculinity drops. Like
Yeah.
there's so many dangerous things can happen if you can't control your emotions. Like expressing yourself is saying, hey, do what you want, do what you feel.
Yeah.
If I feel like I want to beat someone up, then I'm just going to go, like, you're going to accept that, you know?
Yeah.
And so controlling yourself, at least for men, you know, at least for me and myself, like
Yeah.
controlling yourself first and then taking over the world, if that's what you want to do, is probably the key. You know?
Yeah. And that's why I think mental health is such a big thing.
Oh, it's so huge. And it's I
Yeah.
feel like it's new to society in a sense.
Yeah, and we're like, this country is way behind the curve
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to that.
And we think we're on top of it because
And-
because of our mental health.
Because of our mental health, we think we're number one. We're not. We're not even the top 15.
Ooh,
for mental health.
I would have said at least top 10, but I mean 15. It's a little
We're
rough.
not. We're not in the top 15.
You're gonna have to back
We
it
barely
up, bro.
made the top 20
For what?
for mental health
Really?
among
Like, statistically?
citizens. Yeah, statistically. I don't remember the list or who was in it, but I know like Norway was in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think Canada was number 2.
Mm.
I think it was Norway, Canada, and then someplace else.
Probably like Finland or Sweden or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's because they're more in. You know, we have first world country problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when I do Doctors Nurses Show, which is on Thursday at 8 a.m. for anyone else who is interested.
Yeah. Listen in.
Yeah, please do. It's in the morning, 8 a.m. It's called Straight Talk. You know, I'm a single guy who's young, and Dr. Marissa, she's a single woman who's, you know, older, and we have like conversations about like relationships and like people and like sex and like it's a whole spectrum. It's
Yeah.
really cool. But the first things that she does before we get into our topic is we have our gratitude sandwich, right? Which we go back and forth and we say what we're grateful for.
Yep.
And then that's like the top of the bun. And then the bottom of the bun, it's appreciations. Like, what do you appreciate about yourself? Because at the end of the day, a lot of people in society are asking for, you know, appreciation from other people.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that, then you're not satisfied in life, you know, and then you start to like, your frequency starts to drop and all this stuff, and you start to become sad. But if you appreciate yourself and you remind yourself, you know, I appreciate that I'm a go-getter, you know, I appreciate that I wake up every morning with a smile on my face, you know, like
Yeah.
gratitude and appreciation of yourself is huge. And that's not being narcissistic, that's just keeping yourself in line so you don't have to have, that's the word, you don't have to have approval from anybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And society takes the whole thing away. Like Instagram, that is approval from everybody else. You know?
Yeah. Instagram.
Like
yeah.
you're doing all this work, you're posting all this stuff,
Yeah.
I do have an Instagram, but I am not really super active on it. I'm
Yeah.
not really into social media like at all in terms of like what I can do and what I post and stuff. But I understand the point of where like, yeah, they say that some people that are on Instagram a lot like are depressed.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing, and
Joe just scrolling. He's
there's a common
forget it.
theme. uh, there's a common theme with our bodies. You know, whether it's mental or physical. For example, diabetes. If we're eating sugar constantly, our body shuts down its, source for natural sugar.
Mhm.
So then we got to regulate it with insulin, with things that we put into our body. You know, if we don't love ourselves, we go outside.
To find
To find that inspiration, to find, and and that's why a lot of comedians are typically depressed. You know,
because they're using everyone else as a source of love rather than loving themselves.
yeah, and that was a big thing. When Robin Williams died, his everything about him came out. That's when mental health was like, we need to take a look at this.
Yeah, because it was such a shocker. Like he was such
Yeah.
a happy guy. He made everyone smile.
And
laugh.
and a lot of comedians, and I mean a lot of comedians, like 80% of comedians out there that I listen to, changed up how they were doing things because of what happened to him.
Mm.
And it was like, you gotta love yourself first to let others in,
Right.
because to see your body as a temple.
It is, yeah. I was telling I was telling this girl, right? It's always
Tell
about
this girl,
girls.
yeah.
Anyways, I don't go around just throwing myself out there. I don't have like sex all the time. Whoop whoop. Like
Yeah,
once I got tested and I came out clean, like I just haven't had sex since, right?
yeah,
And like one of the reasons is like you're giving like a piece of yourself to somebody.
yeah,
Every time you have sex with someone else, you're giving a piece of yourself to someone.
yeah.
And that will make it harder for you to love someone.
Yep.
You know, like in the Bible, there's a thing called pair bonding, right? Like
Yeah.
when virgins first have sex, like they're so attached to the person who they just had sex with, right?
Yeah.
And that's to keep each other together. But if you're having sex, just boom, 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 like next person to the next, like your emotions for a person is no longer there. Maybe it is, but like I said,
Or it might only live in that moment.
exactly, and
Yeah.
you're just giving a piece of yourself to somebody else,
Yeah.
and eventually, you'll be kind of soulless, bro. Like
Yeah.
there are people, not even just women, but men as well, who just do not care anymore because they've interacted with so many people and done so many things that it's just another body.
Yep.
It's just another number,
Yeah.
you know? And I do not want that for myself.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for the person who I'm going to be with. You know?
Yeah, because they don't deserve it either.
They don't.
So.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But, hold on. Boss is texting. Jim. Anyways. So I kind of went on a rant. But I do feel strongly about that.
Yeah.
But also.
It's a good topic.
It is, and it's a serious topic. And, you know, maybe next week if we don't have it, well, we probably will have a guest. But next time when we do have it just one-on-one, we should have callers call in and give their personal opinions, because I used to not give my opinions out. I would just like sit, watch, and listen. But now I have my own personal views that I find very valuable and like validated to myself. And so like now I can have a conversation with someone without sounding dumb.
Yeah.
In a sense, you know. And what I've been doing now is honestly when I have one-on-one conversations, which this is kind of is.
Yeah.
I go on these rants.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
the way I see society, like as me, I want to be a leader, right?
Yeah.
So I cannot just sit and watch people make mistakes, and like I may not be the best leader, but I want to lead them in the right path.
Right.
You know, and at the end of the day, like come on, you know what you should and what you should not be doing.
Yeah.
But like if I can help you, like talking about, you know, having appreciation or like gratitude or like inspiring you, you know, like that is our job as humans to like inspire each other, you know.
Yeah.
And a little side note, which I'm pretty excited for, I do like Motivation Mondays. And this lady, she hit me up. She's like, "Hey, you still doing Motivation Mondays?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, can you do like a seminar, like a Motivation Monday with all like my supervisors for our school, because like during this time of year, like we're very unmotivated, and like these kids and like, you know, all this stuff." And I was like, "You want me to like do a whole seminar in front of all these
awesome.
supervisors?" I was like, "I would love to, you know." And she was like, "So what do you do?" And I explained to her, you know, I was like, "Look, we introduce each other. We talk about our goals that we want, how we could achieve it, you know. Motivation Monday, get the week started. And then Friday is follow-up Friday. Be like, hey, did you complete your goals? But if you don't, that's okay. Yeah. As long as you are, like, working towards something, as long as you get that inspiration, be like, all right, I'm going to do something this week.
Yeah.
Rather than
as long as it's progress.
Bro, every single day, if you feel like nothing, right?
Yeah.
I want to use the bad word, but we can't say it on the air. But if you feel like nothing, it's probably because you did nothing.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
And that's the law of vibration, all right? When they get out of the gym, they feel good. You know, they open doors for other people. They come out, they don't feel depressed, sad, or mad, you know?
Yeah, it's there's a chemical in your brain.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called. Serotonin.
But at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're raising your vibration. Mm-hmm. You're raising your frequency. When you're feeling low, you have a low vibration.
Yeah.
When you go to the gym and you're cranking out, you're increasing your energy, you're increasing your frequency.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think as people, we should always just keep our energies up and keep it going.
Yeah.
You know? And I think we can't do it alone.
No.
You know?
No.
And so to everyone who's listening out there, Motivation Monday, come on the show. We can talk about whatever we want, right? This show is called Whatever Works. So if you want to talk about how can I improve myself, or if you want to talk about society and its crazy ideas, you know what I mean? This is the show to be on.
Definitely.
So, any last words, Kyle, before we take off?
Everyone, have a good week. Thank you if you celebrated your birthday with me, it means everything to me. I live for y'all.
Yeah. Don't forget to wish him happy birthday, guys. Just go on KCAA, Whatever Works, or hit him up on Instagram. Drywall?
Hit Drywall.
Hit Drywall. Wish him a happy birthday. He's 26 now, guys. Time 26. To catch up. All right, you guys. This is Whatever Works on KCAA, 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And we will be here next week. Happy Sunday. Take care. We will have a guest, whether it's our backup guest or our main guest. We'll do it here every week, guys. Yeah. All right, you guys.
All right.
Have fun.
Hey, feeling